Yo, it is me, Doncho, and welcome back to the Hideout, you guys, and I'm so glad you guys can make it. And I am back with another Jujutsu Kaisen character discussion video. And as you can tell from the title, this video will be about Megumi and his wasted treasure, or his boundless potential. But before I get into the video, I want to let you guys know that if you want to support the Doncho Hideout channel, you are more than welcome to hitting the coffee link below, and you can send me any type of donations you would like to do. Or if you want to join the Doncho Hideout membership, that'll be coming soon at the end of the month here on YouTube, where I'll be bringing any exclusive content for all members. There will be only one tier, and prices will be announced soon. So make sure you tune into that. Okay, you guys? If this is your first time coming to the channel, thank you so much for being here. And don't forget to hit that like button. Don't forget the comment section below and tell me anything that you feel about this video. And hit the subscribe button with that bell icon so you don't miss any new content coming to the Hideout. Alright, intro. Megumi Fushiguro is easily my favorite character in Jujutsu Kaisen. The way he carries himself, his surface level stoic nature, and even his ability really resonates with me, and I enjoy seeing his character progress throughout the story of Jujutsu Kaisen. The thing about Megumi is that there are people who believe that he is either weak or he will not be able to tap into the potential that he has. Well, hopefully in these recent chapters, 153 and 154, that has already changed, where we see Megumi diving in and out of shadows, other people's shadows, similarly to what he was doing against the special grade curse that he fought back in Origin of Obedience. The thing about Megumi is that he seems to be very lackluster when it comes to his own understanding of his ability. When I say that, I mean he understands that his shadows are mediums. He understands that he is able to control those shadows, be able to summon his Shikigami, things of that nature. And now we see that he understands being able to place himself within other people's shadows. We've also seen Megumi pull weapons out of his shadow and even send the shadows for other people can get weapons out of those shadows. So what I want to focus on in this video is talking about where Megumi started and where Megumi possibly could go. Megumi began being a second grade Jujutsu Sorcerer when he came into Jujutsu High. That's really talented for someone of his age. But he probably could have came in the first grade, maybe even a special grade, if he probably had a different outlook on his ability. Maybe if he was raised by the Zenin clan even. But considering he wasn't, he started off differently. He started off seeing his ability as something that can only be used in a way of sending out Shikigami and then him fighting hand-to-hand combat. The thing about that is it's very unique for a Shikigami user, as usually they would use their Shikigami to do most of the fighting for them. That's what Sukuna points out when he fights him back in the Cursed Womb arc. Thing about Megumi is that he wants to get better with hand-to-hand combat, something that he might have gotten naturally from his father Toji, but maybe that's another video for another time. The thing about Megumi is that him wanting to naturally get better with hand-to-hand combat, use weapons while still also sending out a Shikigami, is very unprecedented for Shikigami users. And so because of that, he has this ability to tap into a boundless array of combinations of techniques and abilities. So when Megumi was fighting with Yuji against that special grade back in the Cursed Womb arc, he wasn't able to beat it. He didn't think he could beat it, doubting his own ability, doubting his own potential. But Sukuna made him aware that he was wrong. He should have been able to defeat it. And that being said to him was the initial spark for him to realize that he isn't tapping into his ability the way he truly could, even causing Sukuna to now have some type of interest in Megumi, saving him from his own summoning Maharaga and wanting to use him for whatever plan he has, which I may make a video on later. So, when Megumi has that Origin of Obedience flashback, and we see after Goodwill he trained with Gojo because he felt so incompetent during the events of Goodwill arc, I can see now that Megumi wants to surpass his own doubts. He wants to surpass his own inability to bring out the greatness of himself. So how does he do that? I think the beginning is him understanding what shadows truly are, and what other people's shadows can be done for him. That's why we see him currently diving in and out of other people's shadows with his own body. Megumi now seems to be looking forward, wanting to branch out of that smaller mindset of only using his shadows for summoning Shikigami. It wasn't until after the Cursed Womb arc he even realized he could put weapons and other things inside of his shadow. The core issue for Megumi and whether or not he has boundless potential or is a wasted treasure is his own imagination. Let's go back to Shibuya Incident arc, where he runs into his father as a puppet, and who he doesn't quite know is his father yet. And he thinks to himself, imagine me winning. Imagine a stronger me. The same way he has to imagine himself thinking freely, moving more freely, the interpretation of his technique back in Origin of Obedience when he used his domain expansion. There are so many moments now of Megumi realizing his imagination is what he needs to truly evolve into the next form of him. And he's been succeeding. I mean, look at what he did in Shibuya Incident Arc. He was able to save Nanami, Maki, and Naobito from auto deaths due to Dagon. He came in, used his own domain, was able to stop the sure hit techniques, and even allowed Toji to be able to come in and land that final blow. Megumi clearly is starting to reach past the weak levels that we had met him on. Okay, let's think about this. If we say boundless potential, what does that mean? Well, personally, when I say Megumi has boundless potential, I think it could be just as strong as Gojo Satoru. Now, before you look at me crazy like there's no way the 10 Shadows technique can compare to Infinity and Limitless, let's really think about that for a second. Gojo himself said that back in an older era, I believe it was the Kicho era, I'm not sure, don't quote me on that one, there was a Gojo member and there was a Zenin member, one that had the 10 Shadows and then a Gojo member that had the 6 eyes and Limitless just like Gojo, and they actually killed each other. Now, there's a few things that are unsure about those things that can cause people to go, Dancho, I don't know about him being as strong as Gojo. Maybe that Zenin clan member just summoned Maharaga and that's how he ended up being able to kill that Gojo member. But think about that for a second. I can't imagine the Gojo that I know losing to Maharaga. I'll be completely honest with you guys. What if there's more to it than that? Or maybe that Gojo member from the past isn't as strong as the Gojo that we know. Gojo has confirmed that there are secret books within the Gojo family that not every Gojo member knows about and that other Zenin members don't know about. That information came from Hidden Inventory right before he killed Toji. So maybe Gojo had accumulated all the information of his family members over all these years studying things of that nature, and he may be stronger than that Gojo member of the past. But then why would Gojo mention that to Megumi? As some false way of propping up his student to feel stronger? I don't think so. You see, he knows Megumi very well, and even Megumi himself doubted that. He thought to himself, just because that happened doesn't mean I could become as strong as you. But that right there is what's holding Megumi back. Why doesn't that mean you could be strong as Gojo? Why doesn't that mean you can find a way around Infinity and Limitless? Why doesn't that mean maybe one day you can tame Maharaga, which I do think he may do one day? I believe that Megumi truly is boundless potential, and he was a wasted treasure until now. Now that he sees Yuji progressing the way he is, even seeing Nobara progressing the way she was, he believes that he has to now go past that because he has to prove that his values matter. And those values stem from Sumiki. Those values stem from him choosing to keep Yuji alive. And I think now that him and Yuji are more connected, they have to really protect each other and go through the culling game, as well as him trying to keep his sister from being killed. Megumi's imagination has no barrier. He now believes that he can do whatever he needs to do to get things done. And the way he's able to dissect and break down other people's jujutsu techniques without a 6 eyes, as well as be able to understand political situations and things of that nature, make him probably the strongest student outside of Yuta. Now I understand, Maki's just as powerful as his father, but Maki may not be more powerful than Megumi in the long run. That is because Megumi genuinely may be able to find a way around anything. How would Maki or someone like her get out of being trapped inside of a shadow? How would they stop him from being inside of shadows and attacking them? There are so many things about Megumi and his powers that has me so ready to see more of him. We haven't even seen all of his Shikigami yet, and a lot of people forget that. What I'm saying here in this video is that Megumi genuinely will end as the strongest student by the end of Jujutsu Kaisen, even more powerful than Yuta. He definitely is a special grade, but because of his own imagination, he hasn't quite understood that special grade level. And why characters like Yuta, Yuki, and Gojo are considered special grade already, including Geto, I'm sorry to forget him, is that their abilities automatically place them there because on the surface, they can do so many extraordinary things. But Megumi's ability can be something that could be seen as just a second grade type of ability, but if you truly dive into it, he truly understands the medium of shadows and tries to branch out of that and tries to have a much larger imagination. I can see Megumi easily becoming a special grade. Think about it. The Sukuna wants to use him for something. Saved his life, was keeping tabs on him in Shibuya incident, and kept him from killing himself in Maharaga, wanting him for something. That in itself is proof that Megumi has a lot of special things going for him, and he is nothing but boundless potential. So, I'll quickly throw some icing on the cake. Even Gege Akutami almost spoiled us and said that Sukuna was using Megumi, or would try to use Megumi, because he wants to create a world redacted. Whatever that redacted piece was, that clearly shows, in my eyes, that Megumi is definitely a special grade. But he had to be nerfed for the sake of the story and for the sake of character progression and development. So, what I would like to ask you guys is, what do you think about Megumi currently, and where do you think he'll go in the future? Do you think he'll get even more powerful? Do you think he's reached his limit? Or do you think that Megumi really isn't all that strong and he isn't quite going to become stronger than someone like you to become a special grade? I would love to hear those comments below. And also, if this is your first time coming to the channel, don't forget to hit that like button and that subscribe button and the bell icon if you like this content. As I always say, it is your boy Doncho, and thank you so much for tuning into my video, and I hope you guys have an amazing rest of your day. Peace.
Young Noise.